There's a Bible verse I think about sometimes, many times. It goes, "Then I heard the voice of the Lord saying, Whom shall I send? And who will go for us?" And I said, "Here am I. Send me."
Trials and tribulations are a man's greatest weapon. Defeat, failure, hitting rock bottom, though it brings a man pain, that same pain can also bring him true change. It can give him a complete renewing of the mind. It can allow him to see things from a new perspective. If a man never faces struggle, if he never faces a situation where his back is up against a wall, he remains complacent. He lacks a need to improve. He has no intention to do more, to be more. It takes no courage to be normal. It takes no courage to avoid failure and risk. So in order to become the next version of myself, I have to let the current version completely die. I have to uproot it. Just like the image of plucking berries from a tree, no matter how many berries you pluck, that tree will always bear more fruit. And if that fruit is toxic, the only way to bear healthy fruit is to cut the tree at its roots and plant a new one. So you gotta ask yourself that question. What in my life do I need to completely remove, completely sever? You can't have one foot in and one foot out. You have to be all in. See, there's 3 stages. Your mind and heart are either, number 1, dead, meaning you're spiritually dead, mentally dead, and not open to anything new. Number 2, divided. You've got 1 foot in, 1 foot out. You have a desire to improve, but you also have a strong desire to sin. Or number 3, devoted, meaning, hey, you're all in. Day in and day out, you constantly show up, no matter how you feel. And that's where you need to be at. That's where we all need to be at. We're at war, my brothers. This world is against us. And God isn't looking for dead soldiers. He's not looking for divided soldiers who flirt with the enemy. He's looking for devoted soldiers. Now, a devoted soldier won't always be a perfect soldier, but he's first in line to answer the call and to rise again. He doesn't avoid struggle. He doesn't avoid setback. He stays mission focused. He understands that the highest wisdom is usually found in the lowest moments and biggest defeats. He clings to God. He desires to live virtuous. He embraces tradition. He loves good and hates evil. But how? How does a man who's been so influenced by media and pop culture, how does he refrain from evil and become more fruitful? He guards his heart, mind, and soul at all costs. He clings to his Creator. He clings to everything that's pure and honest. The Bible says, Proverbs 4:23, guard your heart above all else, for it determines the course of your life. It's wild. Our world promotes, practice good habits and improve your mental health. But when is the last time we were ever taught that us becoming emotionally healthy was actually loving and following Christ? Every time in the Bible, whenever Jesus told someone, follow me, that person had to leave something behind. The woman at the well, she left her water pot. Peter, James, and John had to leave their nets. Matthew left his tax collector booth. So what are you going to leave behind today? What's taking your focus off your mission? Is it your past? Is it your doubts? Your addictions? Is it a specific relationship you may need to remove yourself from? Just because you know the truth, just because you watch red pill videos, doesn't mean your life changes. You can accept the truth but still wallow in your sin, still wallow in your dysfunction and toxic environments. So leave behind whatever it is you know you need to leave behind. Cut it off from its roots. If the music you're listening to imports lustful images into your mind, if the TV show you're watching cultivates lustful desires, your Xbox is creating lazy habits, you got that alcohol bottle in the back of your pantry constantly calling your name, if the relationship you're in is causing you to lose focus, to lose sight of your mission, it's time, my brother. You know what you need to do. You know what God is calling you to do. It's time to change. Not just your habits, but your values. Because your values is what determines your habits. You want your healthy habits to stick? Root them in good soil, good values. That's how you weather the storm. When tragedy strikes, when life gets hard, your values uphold you. The world tries telling us men, it's okay to be weak. Not everyone's built to be strong and stoic. And to a point, that may be true. But one thing's for sure. Yeah, it's okay to be weak, but it's not okay to stay weak. It's okay to have a moment of weakness, but not a mentality of weakness. You've been called to so much more, my brothers. You are the chosen one, whether you think so or not. Like the Matrix, what made Neo the one? It wasn't just cause he was. He wasn't the one just cause it was his destiny. Nah, in fact, some may argue he wasn't the one at all. What made him the one was when he actually believed it himself, when he actually believed he was the one. And that is exactly what will make you the one, when you simply just believe it. Because whatever you believe, you become. There's no excuses. In the Bible, Jacob was a cheater, David an adulterer, Paul a murderer, Gideon was insecure, Thomas a doubter, Moses a stutterer, Zacchaeus was short, Abraham was old, and Lazarus was dead. And I'm not talking his mind state, he was physically dead. See, God doesn't call on the qualified, he qualifies the called. And right now, he's calling you. Forget the situation you're in. Forget the fact you're not the best looking, the best communicator, the best this, the best that, and just focus on the one thing you do have control over, your effort and your attitude. That's how you build. Don't let your frustrations become depression. In fact, remove that label of depression, remove that label of social anxiety, of fear, doubt. Create a life, create a schedule that literally gives you no time to even focus on those labels. Create a mean work ethic that exhausts you. Because if you're not exhausted, you're gonna exhaust your time with pleasure and useless things. And as a man, you need something that keeps you focused and occupied at all times. If not, the world is gonna keep you occupied with all its agendas. Remember, discipline is doing what you hate to do, but doing it like you love it. It's delayed gratification, doing the hard things that bring you fulfillment later on. Everyone wants success and influence put right on their laps. But if you truly wanted it, if you truly desired it, you wouldn't sleep till you had it. You would remove all the distractions getting in the way between you and who you desire to be, or else you'll never achieve it. This is the only thing you have control over, who you decide to be, your values, your attitude, and the amount of effort you put into these things. Stop complaining, especially over the things you cannot change, and start building now. Look at your life up until now. You could have been dropped as a child and had an injury that left you crippled. You could have been in a car accident that made you paralyzed. You could have been abandoned and left in a dumpster. You're blessed, my brother. You are capable. Don't take the breath in your lungs for granted. No excuses. It's time to move.